Welcome to the Trauma Informed Lens podcast. I'm your host, Matt Bennett. Each episode we talk about the research and practical aspects of the trauma informed movement. This podcast is not designed to replace mental health services. If you feel uncomfortable or triggered by our discussion, please consider seeking your own trauma treatment. In no way is seeking treatment an admission of weakness. It is a chance to build resiliency and experience post-traumatic growth. You can find show notes, resources, and more at traumainformedlens.org. Welcome, friends, to episode 96 of the Trauma Informed Lens podcast. I'm Matt Bennett, and I'm all here by my lonesome today. So I wanted to do a short podcast to update you. We've gotten lots of comments, lots of requests as where did the Trauma Informed Lens podcast go? We were going to take a few week break and come back, and that was a few months ago. So first off, I want to apologize for that. Just a little bit of an update on the three of us. Jerry has been working on a lot of big projects and has not had much capacity as of late, and it looks like that's the situation moving forward for him. Kurt, I think, has about 4 jobs right now, so he was having trouble over the summer even finding time to be on the show. And I know continues to be way too busy to find an hour a week or so to be a part of this. My own excuse is I've been working on a couple of big projects, which I hope to do a couple shows on coming up here in 2020. Not really a perfect excuse, but I've been really busy in my training schedule. This year has been the busiest year I've had in my entire career, which has been just such an amazing thing on one hand and incredibly busy and time-consuming traveling across the country, talking about trauma, self-care, and leadership. So that is a little bit of my excuse why you haven't heard from us in quite a while. But I wanted to let you know that the Trauma Informed Lens podcast is coming back in 2020. Going to look a little bit different. Kurt and Jerry are, which I hope I can bring back as guests at certain point. Just don't have the availability to be with us on a weekly basis. So I'm hoping to find guests. I've got a few people that are interested that I know and will be a great co-host to do about every month a podcast specifically on self-care as we talk about fighting things like vicarious trauma, secondary trauma, and burnout. And so I'm excited to bring some new faces to the show with you. Trying to line up also some guests. And if you listeners know of anybody you think would be great to be a guest on the show, or if even you think you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out to me. You can find my information. Go traumainformedlens.org. That's embedded in my website, and you'll find my contact information there as well. So I'm really hoping that we can have a wide range of voices going into 2020. I'm going to also share some of the exciting work that I've been doing with some great individuals over the last few months, which is my excuse for not getting this together sooner. So I just wanted to send something out before 2019 slipped away from us. One, to wish everyone a very happy holiday season. I always know in a lot of our works, this can be the greatest time of year, but also sometimes the most stressful part as folks are struggling with trauma around family, maybe being alone for the holidays. And I know a lot of us, and I always just like to give a shout out to all those folks who don't necessarily get the holidays off, working Thanksgiving, working over the Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah as well. So just a shout out to everybody out there, just a message of self-care to end 2019 And like I said, you'll be hearing from me hopefully with a few episodes starting early on in January. And please reach out if there's any topics you'd like us to cover, any guests that you think you can hook me up with. I'm looking at ways to keep this going into 2020 and beyond. So I want to thank everybody for your support. I probably would not be doing this if a few dozen people hadn't reached out to me and said, hey, we want this podcast to continue. So I'm back because of you. I'm excited for 2020 because of you. And it's just great to know that, to hear of folks that this podcast was a part of their professional development, and that they enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it. So we're back, and you'll be hearing from me early 2020. So everybody, have a great end to 2019. Thanks again for all your support. I can't tell you how much it means to me, and we will see you soon with new episodes. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.